All right, what is up, guys? We are back. It is Tuesday night. Back with Final Fantasy X. Today is a day. Today is the day that all of us have been dreading. The Blitzball day. The true final boss of this game. You thought it was going to be Sin. You thought it was going to be Penance. It's Blitzball. Whoa! Why is Discord light theme now? I do not like this. Alright, well, I guess it updated and now my Discord's in light theme. That couldn't be any worse. Anyways, I hope you guys have been writing up your questions throughout the weekend. I hope you guys... I just misclicked. I hope you guys have had a fantastic start of your week. I hope you guys have questions for me. I hope you guys are ready to rumble in some Blitzball. My chat is going to be a little wonky, at least up until I figured out how to turn off. This is really bad. Do any of you guys have this light theme on? And if so, I'm sorry. Because I think you need to turn it off. It's going to be the worst idea I've ever seen. Did we get the ball back? I cannot figure out how to turn this off. Come on! Keepa! Keepa, how do you not pick that up? Yeah, I for real can't figure this out. Alright, well my eyes are going to be bleeding, but one way or another, chat is going to chat. Anyways, especially while we go about and do this Blitzball segment, feel free to ask your questions as they come. Feel free to ask any question that you've had throughout the week that you've just been dying to ask me. Because we might go rapid fire. The beginning of this stream is definitely not going to be the most exciting. Unless you guys are avid sports ball lads, in which case, you know, maybe there's a little bit in store for Blitzball for you, but I don't think that pass goes through. Oh! That should be our first goal of the match. No. No, it should still be. Yeah. Alright, well, good. That's we're off to a fast start here. So anyways, I don't really have much for you guys. I know every Tuesday? Every Tuesday I usually come with a pretty funny story because my professor that I have today. Oh, okay. No problem. You didn't miss anything now. You missed us score the first goal of the game, and that's about it. But anyways, I don't really have too much fun stuff to say today. This is for sure going in. Vixen with a 20 shot. Ooh. Oh, Keepa! That's the first big play he's made his whole career. That's a really far pass over to Titus, too. What is Keepa on? Do we get another one? So yeah, feel free to ask your questions. That's pretty much where we're at. So anyways, going back to what I was saying, every Tuesday I usually come back with something pretty funny because, you know, my professor that I have today is a crazy person. Today not much really happened that was too exciting. I know, it's a little bit unfortunate. You know, usually there's some pretty funny stuff, but not much today, you guys. But there was, however, something that happened. So, as you guys know, this professor, we're talking about the same one that was talking about how all money I made on the stock market should be sent back because I didn't do anything for the company. We're talking about this lady. So today she asks a very simple question. Okay, big steal by Rop there. She asks a very simple question. Okay, a question that I apparently got wrong. A question that I apparently got wrong. So, as I was... Wow! He resists it. You have to speak up 2 times in class. I did not speak today. I'm sorry, I know. I don't have anything funny. Oh, I do actually have one thing. I have 2 things actually that happened today. Maybe today wasn't as bland as what I thought. So anyways, lads, the professor asked me a very simple question. And that question is... It didn't give me the option to do sear shot. Doesn't matter, it's in the back of the net. That's a natural hat trick for Titus in the first half. Yeah, so anyways, lads, she asked a very simple question. And that question is... Can poverty exist everywhere? Can poverty exist everywhere? Very simple question. Very, very simple question. Now, she goes and she says something real simple. Raise your hand if you agree with that statement, that poverty can exist everywhere. You know, and I think to myself, yeah, of course, if I mean, the natural laws of the world dictate there are those above to command and those below to receive said command, and it just looking at the bell curve that is, you know, both intelligence or which correlates to your wealth. Everybody's made, and I say, you know what? I agree with that statement. I agree that it doesn't, no matter where you look, it could be here in the United States, it could be in California, it could be in any state, it could be in Estonia for all I care. There are going to be the wealthy and there's going to be the impoverished. It's just, you know, that's just the natural law. You can't have everyone be incredibly impoverished, and you can't have everyone be incredibly wealthy. You know, that's just how the natural laws of the world work. So I raised my hand with that statement, right? And I think it's a very balanced statement to say that I agree that it's possible for poverty to exist everywhere. Most people in the class do not. And a reminder, I'm with a lot of people who are a little bit younger than I am. So most people in the class don't. And the professor kind of looks around and she's like, you know, and I'm a little bit surprised by that. And the professor looks around and she says, yes, all of you guys are absolutely right. For some people, like, poverty can't exist. And I have this really bad habit of laughing, like whenever I hear something so just like insane, asinine. Like there's a lot of things in this world that I could get behind. A lot of things that I think are debatable, but thinking that it's impossible for any any group of people to be impoverished, I think that might be the most crazy thing I've ever heard. So anyways, lads, I just started busting up laughing, and I can't control it. I just can't control it. Luckily, she didn't really look over at me after that, or else I would have probably said what I had to say. But I did what I did, and I started laughing. The other thing that happened, which she didn't go into what she was talking about, but I don't know what she meant by it. There was no evidence behind it. I've kind of touched on that a little bit. The teacher presents the most outlandish of things, but never actually presents evidence behind it. There was absolutely no evidence behind it. Dang it. Yeah, there was no evidence behind it. She just said it, like I talked about every so often on the stream. So, yeah, that's a thing that happened today. The other thing that happened today was a rather more embarrassing story. This directly follows when she said that very non-controversial opinion that definitely I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with, that some people are immune to being some groups of people are immune to being in poverty. So a girl behind me really And I mean, she really wanted her talking points, and she was raising her hand up quite a bit. So the professor calls on her, and she directly sits behind me. It's in a lecture hall, so if you guys can kind of picture that, this girl is directly sitting behind me. And I'm sitting there watching the Laker game on my phone because at that point I'm laughing so hard at the professor that I've indefinitely toned out of class. I'm sitting there watching the Laker game. I'm having a grand old time. The Kings game had just finished. We won. Now I'm having the time of my life. And while I'm doing this, I'm doing the coolest pen tricks imaginable. I have my pen. I'm flipping it up like it's the Buster Sword. I'm catching it. I am absolutely going off, lads. This is, if there was a image, if there was an image of someone who was just the best pen user in the world, I think I might be there. I was doing the coolest things imaginable. So I'm watching the Laker game while this is happening. So one hand's on my phone watching the Laker game. The other, my right hand is doing the craziest pen tricks possible. It's like I was inventing a new victory pose for Final Fantasy game, lads. I was bussing. So while I'm doing the, like I said, while I'm just absolutely going off, all of a sudden, because I'm getting focused on the Laker game, all of a sudden, my pen, it just flies. And I mean it flies. Like so she calls on the girl behind me. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing the cool triple flip 320, and this pen goes flying because I was watching the Laker game. So there's about 200 people in the class, and if somebody gets called on, like it's just courtesy that you kind of look over there. So the most embarrassing part about all of it was how many people saw me mess up doing the trick. I almost pulled it off too, don't get me wrong, but it was really embarrassing. I couldn't help but laugh though. I mean, I was already pretty much laughing about the what the professor had been saying earlier. Yeah, that was that happened today. That was pretty funny. If a tad bit embarrassing for sure. The professor nor no one said anything though, so maybe they were so entranced by the girl behind me saying whatever stuff she was that they didn't see me mess up on the triple flip 320. But yeah, it was rather embarrassing. I've had some pretty embarrassing things happen to me, but not so much in school. Like outside of school maybe, but in class, like I've never really had embarrassing stuff happen to me. Even when I was at JC, this is probably one of the more embarrassing ones. And the worst part about it too was like it flew so far that it went like in front of me, like it wasn't in my desk. It flew in the lecture hall state, like the stanchion that was ahead of me. So the girl who had turned around to look at the girl behind me who was sitting in front of me just started laughing when this thing goes flying out of my hand. And then she ended up picking it up for me and giving it back to me, which was very nice of her. But she was laughing while she did so. It didn't hit anyone, no. But the girl that that picked it up and then gave it back, it almost hit her for sure. Like I'm surprised that she didn't escape with the pen through the head, because that thing was absolutely busting. If you guys think I'm busting, that pen was spinning. I think that was about it though. I was pretty much toned out of class the rest of the time. That's another issue that I have, is like if somebody says something that is just very out there, I usually just tone out for the rest of the class period. That's one of the first, that's probably my biggest issue with education. My second I actually picked up from a professor. And I agree very much with this statement here. So my professor always told me
one of my my favorite professor I've actually ever had in my entirety of upper level academia. She told me this. She pulls me aside. What's up, Jiff? You missed a little bit of story time. But my professor pulls me aside and she says after class one day, because I was very close to this professor and she helped me a lot with like kind of getting all my stuff ready to transfer and all that stuff, and she made sure I was always at the top of my game in my educational career. She pulls me aside one day and she says, you know what, I'm going to tell you something to lead to this. She says, if you're, because you know, she says, you are, you know, you're going to come across a lot of people when you transfer up to university and then into law school after that. She goes, the first thing that you need to do, and she's like, you need to be prepared for this always, because it's a lesson that I myself have done. She goes, I've met some of the most powerful legal professors of all time, from Stanford, Harvard, all of that. And she says, if they do this one thing, they lose all credibility. Okay? And now, obviously, she has me hooked. I want to know what that thing is. And she says, the number one thing you have to avoid whenever you're listening to someone who's in public speaking, or if it's for anything like a job, if it's for anything, if a person ever begins their statement, whatever grandiose statement they're going to say, with the words, I'm sorry, you should immediately tone out for the rest of it. Because it means that the person is either trying to give you something that is intentionally like out there for the sake of attention, or they don't believe in what they're saying. So I've really taken that to heart, and I definitely agree with what she's saying, because every time that someone has ever opened up a statement to me, and you starting with I'm sorry, like I've done all this research, I'm this, I'm that, but I really have to say, after all this research I found, I just gotta say I'm sorry, and then you just pretty much tone out after that. What is up, Embrace Despair? What is my consideration of 100%? Now this is a really good question that I'm surprised no one has actually asked. And I'm surprised by that. But my definition of 100% is as follows, okay? And we're almost there. We're almost there. It is every item in the game. First off, checklist number 1. Every item in the game. Every achievement on PlayStation and Steam gotten is number 2. Number 3 is a max sphere grid for every single character. Step 4 is a max ultimate weapon for every single character as well. Celestial weapon, I guess I should rather say. And number 5 is every monster in the game to have been killed. I don't think I'm missing one. Am I missing one? Jiff, am I missing one? I think that's everything. Every monster in the game killed, every item gotten. Oh, all blue magic learned from Kamari. Every single blue magic spell possible needs to have been learned for Kamari. That's the last one. And then of course, what goes along with collecting or killing everything in the game, Monster Arena has to be max 2. 10 of everything. And we definitely have been getting there, so. That's my idea of 100%. Some people go as far as just to say they only want to kill everything in the game, but I don't agree with that as being 100%. I think the max sphere grid definitely is a part of that, as well as max celestial weapons. So yeah, Embrace, that's going to be my that's my definition of it. I know there's not really like a bona fide definition of what 100% is for a lot of these games, which is rather unfortunate for sure. But that's my personal definition, because once you get to that point, I don't think there's nothing else. Like, I don't think there's anything else you can do. And then, so the missables, I was gonna try and get there. The missables I've all collected. Like, you make a really good point about, like the alphabet primers, for example, are all missable. At least the ones at home. But I have gotten everything that can be gathered so far. I've made sure not to miss anything. But in that case, like, I guess missables, in terms of what my definition is of 100%, if you miss missables, it's whatever. Like, as long as you do everything else, I really don't think that you should be ticked so harshly. And I know that comes a lot, man, in Embrace. I don't know if you've ever played Final Fantasy IX, but a lot of people are very, very much sticklers on the moonstones, and there's only 3 in the game, and people are very much like, if you don't get every single moonstone, then you didn't 100% Final Fantasy IX. And the moonstones are notoriously wonky to get. Like the first one, for example, you have to have 100% on the opening part of the game with blank, and when you do the reenactment of I Want to Be Your Canary, you have to have 100% on that. And then as Steiner, you have to go and talk to like a certain amount of people in an order, and then come back and talk to Brain like 4 times, and she'll give you one. But like they're that they're that serious about going for the 100% clear of that game. This game, oh yeah, absolutely. Final Fantasy IX is a legendary game. I'm not too serious about it, and this game doesn't have a lot of like moonstone-y items. But this game still has challenges, of course. Dodging 200 lightning bolts, or even this Blitzball isn't so much of a challenge once you have the right team, but it can definitely be a time taker. The Embrace Despair, my main goal as like as a Twitch streamer, as everything that I do, is any bit of like content that I do, is I want to become the first Final Fantasy streamer to 100% every single Final Fantasy. So my definition changes from game to game, but it's mostly going to be that. Every ultimate weapon gotten, every item gained, everyone leveled to max level. So this game's a little bit different though, because obviously the ultimate weapons are done in 3s, and the other games are just like you collect the weapon and then you're good to go. This is like, hey, you actually have to get the you have to get the sigil, and you have to get the crest, and you know, and so on. We're really gonna blank the Ronsos 8-0. Dang, well, I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, I I have a few other goals that come up every so often. Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. Really, I thank you. I have a few other goals that come up every so often, and just by your name alone, I could tell that you're probably a little bit excited for the 7 remake. My goal for the 7 remake is I want to become the first. I know I probably can't do it because of just time difference, but I want to become the first American Twitch streamer to 100% the 7 remake. I know that'll be a grind, and I'm a little bit worried about doing that because I've been waiting for this game like so many others for so long. I'm a little bit worried to go and start that game, because I know that when I play it, I'm gonna full on want to just devote so much time to it, and it's one of my big issues that I have with games that I wait a very long time for. That issue is being that, like, oh, he's gonna for sure, yeah, we lost that. That issue comes in, it's like, I waited so long for this game, now I'm gonna play for 3 days straight, not sleep, and then the game's done. I don't think the 7 remake will be like that. I think I'll have a lot more hours on it. But my goal is to be one of the first, if not the first, to 100% that game. Obviously, if it's a goal, I want to go shoot for being #1, but I know that people in Japan and in the Eastern, from Australia, New Zealand, and a little bit left, they have quite the advantage on me. So I have so far completed Final Fantasy VIII, the remaster. I 100%ed that one. and I do like a votes embrace. I do votes after I beat a Final Fantasy. I'm like, hey, what Final Fantasy do you want me to 100% next? So I've done, and a part of saying every Final Fantasy I want 100%. I don't know if you've ever played like the WiiWare games or any of the like the Crystal Chronicles, any of those. But I'm so far as I'm trying to 100% every single thing that if there's Final Fantasy in the name, I'm 100%ing it. So that's what my goal has been, and we've been doing very, very well. We beat My Life as a King. We didn't 100% it though because of some really weird New Game Plus issue that I will have to make sure I go about and replay that game. But we did beat it. I have not even started My Life as a Dark Lord, but the next game on the poll after this one is going to be 10-2. Obviously, I have the polls going compilations. That's going to be in. So, like I say, if there's like a trilogy, or if it's just 2 games, I'll put up the poll and say like, hey, you know, what do you want me to play next? And the game on our list right now is this, and then we're going to be doing Eternal Calm, obviously, and then 10-2, which I've actually never beaten. I think I played the first hour of it and I just quit. So that'll be coming to terms with my past. And then afterwards, what won the poll, guys? It was Final Fantasy 12, right? I think it was 12. And then after 12, we're going to do Revenant Wings, which a lot of people don't even know that game exists, which is a shame because the game is very fun. Revenant Wings is a very, very good game. So we have a lot on our plate. Yeah, it was 12. Thank you, chat. And then also embrace. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the Zodiac Age version. And I am going to be doing it on the PlayStation 4 and not the Switch or the PC versions because of a simple issue that I personally do not like. That tones down the difficulty of the game astronomically. That issue is that in the Switch and PC versions, you could change. Oh, that's not going in. In the Switch and PC versions, you can change jobs, which in the PS4 version you cannot. I think that having the ability to change jobs makes the game much more easier than it is, and I'm not too much of a fan of that. And we do have the Final Fantasy 12 poster. That's right. I'll have to post that up on Twitter before we start that one, so people know what we're talking about. I can't believe that game came out, what, like a day after my birthday or something like that, and I got that poster? Let me see. It came out 3 days after. 3 days after I had turned 17. It seems like so. I had, like, just graduated high school. That's insane. I really like that poster, by the way. I'm glad that we won that. I just like having Gabrant on there. I think the third... Yeah, everyone thought we cheated. Yeah, that's right. They did. It's a story for when we start that game. Oh, man. You know, when 7 Remake comes out, I'm gonna do what I need to do in order to get the poster for that. That is no messing around there. I am 100% going after that poster or whatever they give away. Hopefully they give away like a cloud. They give away some sort of like cloud statue or something like that. It'd be pretty funny. gonna dribble this. I think we can get a little bit further. Oh, we can. It's gotta go. Come on. Oh, for sure. Even if he gets his highest, there's just no way. Wow. That's impressive. How many more games of Blitzball do we have? I think we have like 10 more games. I'm so glad that this is going to be over, and hopefully it will be over tonight. So anyways, do any of you guys have any questions for Brothers over KHP now? I know I've been asking for you guys to come up with them, and we don't really have too many times to go ahead and ask. So you guys got any questions for me? Of course, Super Goalie goes on. Good question. Kuja's #1 by a long shot. Okay, whoa. You guys are asking really thought-provoking questions here. Thank you though. These are good questions. Okay, so my top 5 favorite Final Fantasy IX characters in order. I think that's what makes this a little bit more difficult, is the no order. Or in order, I'm sorry. That's what makes it difficult. Kuja is #1, you'd be absolutely right. That is by a long shot that Kuja is #1. He's just an amazing character. We'll talk more about that when we get to Final Fantasy IX, but he's the GOAT. In second, we're probably going to be looking at probably Vivi. Third, Zidane. 4, probably Garnet. And 5, either Baku or Blank. No, wait. 4, Freya, 5, Garnet. I really like Freya's backstory. I think Bermeshi is one of my favorite locations in the game. Yeah, I didn't really. That's not like a lot of the Steiner. A lot of the characters are, like especially in those games, are I put on like a tier list, not so much like an order list. And Kuja is definitely on like the top tier list, so I was just trying to think like how I could go about and think about that. I'm surprised that you chose to have Garnet above Kuja. Interesting list as well. My top tactics musics. #1 is going to be Battle on the Bridge. That's probably going to be my #1. I really like that song a lot. It comes at a real plot changing time, and it only plays twice at that plot change time, and then the second is at the end of the game. So those are going to be, that's like probably that's the S tier list. Also in that S tier list are going to be the Anti-Pyretic, which plays in different story fights. Tri-Section, which that's like the most commonly known song out of that game, and for very good reason. And another one that I don't think gets enough credit. I'm going to say two that do not get enough credit. Oh god, we're going against Nimrod. The two that don't get enough credit are going to be Memories, which plays during my... Nice! It plays during my favorite scene in the game, which is when Ramzan's leader at the Mandalia Plain, and they play their grass reed flute. When that scene happens, in the original game, the background song that's playing is called Memories. That's my song on Record Keeper when like you look at your party makeup. That's my song. So I really like that song. And then the other one that I do not think, it's weird seeing Jasu here. The other one that I definitely have up there is in the church scene. Once again, towards the end of the game, they play Under the Stars, but a very melancholic piano version of Under the Stars, and that is my favorite rendition of that song. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Besides that, pretty much every song in the game just absolutely slaps. I love that game so much. Don't get me started. Uh-oh. I'm having the tactics fever. It just happens, man. Every time that I hear that game being like, I just hear tactics, it just ignites. And I just can't do anything but just talk about it. So I need to quickly stop talking about it. Under the Stars is your number one. Under the Stars piano is number two. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people overlook that scene, man, and it's not one to be overlooked. What do you think Delita's favorite food is? Delita's favorite food is victory. Ramsa's favorite food is trying to be altruistic. Please go in. Are you kidding? I can't wait to play that game. Another game I can't wait to play is The City on the PSP. I can't believe I was able to make a file of that game. Definitely not an easy task. Oh, that's a terrible mess up. Okay, Delita likes beef and Ramsa likes it. I cannot believe that you just said that. But sure, if that's what floats your boat. Another thing I was saying, this goes in. I saw this yesterday. It goes in. We get a rebound from it. Another thing that I didn't realize was the near raid for 14 comes out in a week from today. Going on 6 days. And you best... Please don't tell me Nimruk's catching went up. And you guys best believe we're going to be streaming that one. Very excited for the near raid on 14. Delete your character to make the game go... to clear the raid. I'm waiting for it. Dang, pop off. I'm scared about Nimrud. That guy's already too good. We don't need him getting better. It's worrisome just how good Nimrud is. his catching didn't go up, but he still has super goalie, which allows him to do the roulette. So it's just kind of ridiculous. Oh, okay, that should be the game. I really want the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo to come out to like public. Or just like I want to play it, lads. I want to. Also, we've passed today, for those of you guys that are excited for the FF7 remake, like so many of us here. Today marks the halfway point between the announcement release date. We are 1 day past the halfway point from the announcement to the actual release date. So the announcement was made at the 7 Orchestra, which I actually had the pleasure of going to, which was 135 days away from today. It was 135 days ago. That's insane. I cannot believe that was already a third of a year ago. And the release date as of today is 132 days. So we are past the halfway point from the release date up until from the announcement to the release date. So we've made it. Just 131 days to go if you're on the West Coast. Insanity. It still can't come soon enough though. I wonder if we're really gonna get a demo. I wonder. With how much they have been kind of releasing throughout the weeks, I don't know if you guys follow the Twitter account, but they've been slowly releasing stuff, and I think we just might. I think Nimrod versus Poison, of course he does. Come either the Game Awards or something in December, I think we'll be getting a demo, you guys. And then nothing excites me more than that. All of us have just been waiting so long for that, and to think it could be coming up relatively soon is just very exciting. And they usually do things in threes, as people kind of have pointed out. So 3 months from TGS will be December. You're looking at the Game Awards, you're looking at a few different games conferences. If they do anything in California, provided that it's not in San Francisco, I will go to it. And I will give you guys probably a full-length documentary on what I think about the demo. There's a rumor that it may be coming to San Diego. That's like out of LA, that's a 3-hour drive if I go and do that. But that is so worth it. There is just no question in my mind that I would drive 4 hours if I have to go play the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hell, I would drive it whatever. Oh, for sure. I'll meet up with you and we'll play it for sure. That, like, no questions asked. If it's true, if the rumors are true, then very, very much so I'd be going down to San Diego. I wouldn't go if it's in San Francisco. No, I would not go if it's in San Francisco. Let me see. There's a list of, hold on, games, conferences, and events. Game industries events in 2019. Ah! I meant 2020. Let me see. Filter by United States. Oh, this has a list of up until 2020. Okay. Oh, never mind. I lied. This list sucks. Here's an event calendar. No, there's still nothing here. There was a really good list I found back in the day. And now that list is mysteriously missing. Oh, here we go. There's pretty much nothing. Oh well. I'm trying to think here. Is there any? I forget that this guy has that. Oh, that could be in the back of the net. It is. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. They haven't really released a list of where things are going to be playable. But if it's in California, provided it's not in San Francisco, I will be going to it. And like I said, I will be giving you guys a documentary long description of the game. I'll be shedding tears in local one. If I have a chance to play the 7 remake, you guys, I don't think I'll be even able to make it to the actual game thing, like the little kiosk that they have you at. I'm probably just gonna be sitting there in line just crying. I mean, I guess it'd be worth to go to San Francisco, but I don't want to pay for a plane ticket up. Plus, if I drove there, it would take a very long time. And considering when that would happen, I don't know if it's something that I would actually want to do. If I were to leave my house right now and drive up to San Francisco, the drive is 6 hours and 47 minutes. That's really not bad. Wait, what the heck? Maybe I would. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely could. You make me wonder. You make me wonder. Well, I've got to go ahead and actually get a bona fide answer from Square on whether or not it's going to be seen. Like, where would California be? Oh, come on. Like I would do that. Remember, I'm always non-political in the real world. I think that's like a key to life right there, is to never be political in the real world. I'm gonna search up on their Twitter account. When the last time they posted was Final Fantasy VII Remake. They have posted 16 hours ago, and it was just for the Golden Joystick Awards, as it's apparently leading the polls in most wanted game. So hopefully it wins it. I definitely tossed my list. I voted for it, I think, like 3 times already. And then yesterday it just says you'd be able to choose how you fight in tactical mode. So they haven't released anything. It's just more or less basics. It's stuff they've already covered from TGS and E3. But hey, I think just like I think just similar to what Kingdom Hearts, they're probably going to go and start releasing a lot more information now that we're only 4 months out from a release date. I'm sorry. Because I'm trying to think, in the halfway point that we've had from E3 until now, really speaking, and you guys feel free to disagree with me as much as you'd like. From the day E3 started, okay, so I'm gonna say the day after E3 up until today, which, like I said, now over halfway till the release date, we haven't gotten a lot of information. Okay, now I understand, we've seen stuff, we've seen the boss fight, we've seen apps, we've seen like 2 trailers since E3. 1 trailer? We've seen 1 trailer since E3. And people themselves have actually played the game. But besides that, they've released screenshots of how materia is going to work. They haven't done like a video on it. They haven't done anything like that. They haven't released a lot on it. And I think they may just pour it on now. From December up until early March. We are really coming up on the release date. I'm glad it's early March and not like the end of March, because it makes it seem like it's just late February. But the worst part about the release date being this year is that February is, we're in a leap year this year, or next year, I'm sorry. 2020 is a leap year, which is just it's just horrendous. It's just horrendous, lads. Why? Why do we have to wait an extra day for Final Fantasy VII Remake? I could see them doing something like that, though. I could see them doing it closer to the holidays, because it'll either entice people to buy a PlayStation, or, you know, there's a few gaming events coming around the holidays that people would very much want to see the remake for, so. Hey, I don't know, though. I don't work with Square. They haven't told me nothing, so your guess is just as good as mine. Apparently they just tweeted right now about an official calendar they're making for the year. That's kind of cool. Most people who think there's going to... Hey, look at that. The beast got Braziled. Most people think that there's going to be a... Exactly, yeah. Most people think that there's going to be something like that that'll come around the holidays. I am personally one of them. I don't know. That's I already have a PlayStation 4. That's a little bit of a hefty investment there. Can't I just throw this game? I'm tired of. We're already an hour into Blitzball. Yeah, isn't there a way to like throw games like forfeit? No, I guess not. Do I have a favorite Final Fantasy creature? Come on! He's got to catch that one. I don't know. Probably a Tonberry. But that's a really tough question. I don't really have like a favorite one, no. Like Chocobos are cool, obviously. But Tonberries are cool. Everything's cool. Cactars are cool. They made an appearance in Mario Basketball. I think that's as cool as you get right there. So I guess when you're poisoned, you can't do abilities. That would make sense. Let's go ahead and resurface. Yeah, the Cactar in the box, that's right. Alright, we can redraw the game plan here. Dang it. This is kind of a lost cause. This will end a tie half. It's not even worth taking a shot. Dang it. We gotta get him next time. Alright, come on, Titus. Let's get that sphere shot going. There's just no way that goes in. I would quit. Alright. Alright, you guys. So there's something I want to note. After we go ahead and win the status reels, which will be the game after this one, I am going to bring to you guys a brand new segment that I didn't think we were going to be able to get done tonight. I didn't think it was going to be ready for a while. This is just a segment in the works. It is a brand new segment that, from what I'm concerned, has never been done before on Twitch. Drum roll, please. This segment, which I said will be coming up very soon. Actually, it will be tonight, guaranteed now tonight, from the match game commentator and other player is we are going to be doing the new segment as, thank you for my drum roll, a non-esport esports. Or esports, non-esports. Basically what that means is we're going to take games that are absolutely not competitive, games that pretty much have been forgotten about in the annals of history. Dang it, Keepa. And we're going to be playing them competitively. We have a commentator, we have an official rulebook, we have team names, we have opening songs, we have everything. We had the draft. We had everything, and the first on our list of esports games is Mario Superstar Baseball. Our first match of spring training will be played tonight. I just got word from the other side that this is the case, so that'll be coming your way tonight. Probably after, it'll be coming right after I get the status reels. And we will be back again tomorrow with Way Back Wednesday with Mario Sunshine. But we are going to be doing esports Mario Baseball. I think this may be the best, worst idea I've ever had in my entire life, and I could not be more excited to start. Let's go ahead and just kill the clock off with the eject shot. Alright. Oh, Titus is still going after the whistle. Alright, let's go ahead and save. I think we're at the last game of the season. This is a game that we could throw. We have 2 games left. You know what? Let's go ahead and have these in for... We're going to have these in for tomorrow. Or Thursday, actually. Thursday will be more. We're going to play some Mario Baseball. I'll see you guys then. For those of you that were here for Final Fantasy X, thank you so much for joining. I will see you back here tomorrow for Super Mario Sunshine, and back here Thursday with Final Fantasy X. For those of you that are here for Delete of This Get ready for our first ever non-esport esport coming up in the next 10 minutes. I will see you guys there. If not, have a nice night.